Good morning. Just left the birches here on Moosehead Lake. Rained again last night. It's kind of raining this morning. I dragged my feet this morning getting out of the tent because it was raining and I didn't feel like packing up and having everything be soaking wet. So I waited for a window and packed up. Now I'm out here and it's raining again. So just gonna head for the northeast carry here on Moosehead, and that's the goal for now. We'll see what time I get there and then determine how far up the river I decide to push. So just gonna go paddle in the rain. I feel like I'm paddling off the end of the earth. Not gonna lie, these big lakes kind of bore me. I'm just kind of paddling for hours and hours on end, and the scenery changes slightly, but not really. Maybe that's why I liked going up Spencer Stream so much, because it was actually a change of pace. I'm kind of bored out here. So the target is down that way, the northeast carry over to the west branch of the Penobscot. So that's where I'm headed. It is kind of breezy out here, so I'm kind of fighting it a little bit. I'm trying to kind of go at an angle, but making progress, just kind of putting along. Well, I've survived another day of sketchy tailwinds from all the way down there somewhere. There's Canoe, and I started right next to that. So. Yikes! That's how much water I took on from the waves breaking over the sides of the boat. Kind of crazy. Just made it down to the west branch of the Penobscot from the northeast carry from Moosehead. Stopped at the northeast carry general store, and the owner knew I was coming through. He's been kind of following my Facebook posts on the community page and everything, so he was anticipating my arrival, knowing that I was on at the birches yesterday. So he was ready to go for me and whipped me up a nice burger and had a cold drink and just kind of sat and chit-chatted with him for a while, and told me, as I expected, I was the first one coming through this year, but I told him there's quite a few behind me, so hope he's ready. So if you are coming through there, make sure you try to reach out to them and let them know, because they might not always be there. If that's someplace that you're expecting to be able to stop to stock up on something or just get a a meal after coming across Moosehead, then try to let them know in advance. But it was great, yeah, great lunch after my Moosehead crossing, and just finished up this easy road walk, and now I'm on the river. Time to go find camp. The sun has returned. Man, I think I've seen that since last week. Gonna make the rest of this paddle enjoyable. Glad I kept my rain gear on. What is this? Come on. I was enjoying the sunshine. Well, this looks like a good enough spot to call home for tonight. Good morning. Just left the Big Island South campsite here on the west branch of the Penobscot. And now I'm headed down towards Chisuncook, where I'm gonna pop in and say hi to an old friend that actually lives there full time. So gonna do that, and then the end goal today is hopefully get to the campsite at the start of Mud Pond Carry, but we'll see if I make it that far. It depends on how long I dilly-dally in Chisuncook, but that's where I'm headed for now. It's supposed to be a nice day, so I'm gonna enjoy it. Made it to Chisuncook Lake. I gotta go up this way later, but I'm gonna go around this corner to the village of Chesuncook and catch up with a friend for a little bit. I've reached the end of Chesuncook Lake. I knew there was a bridge here. I thought it was one I was gonna have to be going under, not around, but that's all right. We'll get up and over this, and then we'll be in Umbazookskus until the Mud Pond Carry, which, given how much water we have, I'm thinking I might be able to float my boat for most of it, so I'll be interested to see what that looks like. We'll find out here shortly. Huh. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to force my way up that. I might have to walk around. Well, made it to the Mud Pond Carry. Time to see what all the fuss is about and trudge through here for over a mile. Yay, this will be fun. This is entertaining, to say the least. I'm kind of doing a modified double carry method, so I'm carrying all my 2 bags in my cart up for a ways, and then I'll put that stuff down and trudge back down the little brook, go get the canoe, bring that up to where my bags are, put my bags back on, keep going. So try to use different muscles the whole time, but I tell you what, this water is frigid. I thought Spencer Stream was cold, but man, that's like bath water compared to this. This is so cold, but oh man, not as bad. The bugs surprisingly aren't bad in here. I'm kind of shocked, but I don't know, it's pretty anyway. We're making progress. You know, I didn't mind the crushed stone portion, but this is kind of rough. Not gonna lie. Just trudging through slop. Trying not to lose my shoes. In hindsight, I should have worn my other ones that laced up, but I was trying to keep those clean. Oh, what an adventure. The problem is some of the stuff you'll step and you'll only go up to like your ankle, and then the next step you go up to your knees. You never really know what you're gonna get in here, but whew, yeah, good fun. When you sit back and take it all in, it's kind of pretty out here. It's like softwood jungle. No moose yet. Well, as fun as that was, never doing that again. That was rough. Oh, wow, this water is a lot warmer. Whew. Just trying to wash off my feet here. I mean, we made it, pretty good time. It took me, I don't know, 3 hours to do the whole thing, which is probably pretty slow, but double carrying everything. I have a lot of heavy stuff. The canoe's heavy, the cart's heavy, my bag's heavy. I planned this trip more around being able to wheel everything, so when you hit stuff like that, it's just a little tricky, but yeah, mosquitoes are horrendous, but made it through it. So now I'm gonna shoot across here. It doesn't take too long to get across here and get onto Chamberlain Lake and find a home over there for the night. Man, that was a ride. I don't know if like nobody gets the chance to run that because the water's always too low or what, but I was not prepared for what that was about to be. Holy, I was just like crazy snaky turn, white water, and I mean it's all super rocky, and I ended up getting hung up on a strainer, and luckily I had my handsaw right behind me and I was able to stabilize the boat and cut part of the tree away so that it released the pressure, and I was able to keep going. That was nuts. That was kind of crazy going through there. No, it indicates that there's a portage route, but I was like, there should be plenty of water. That was wild. That was a good way to end the day. I'm gonna go find a campsite now. Well, for tonight. We head north in the morning. Good morning, just leaving my site here on Chamberlain Lake. Headed north, down to the north end for the carryover to the ghost trains, which is actually kind of cool. And yeah, the bugs are already out, which is kind of annoying. It's supposed to be a hot day, which I suppose is why they're already out. But yeah, we're just gonna hammer down through here and then portage across and then a couple short paddles. I might go climb a fire tower today if there's time, just because it's a nice day and it's there, so why not? And otherwise, see if we can push to the Allagash. That might be the end goal today if I can put on some miles. So see how far we get. It's sunrise to start the day. So we'll get after it. All loaded up here at the tramway carry that goes down a snowmobile trail between Chamberlain and Eagle Lake. This also goes past the ghost trains, which would be pretty cool. I've kind of wanted to come out here for a while and check these out. So looking forward to getting up there and checking those out. When you come in to this portage, you can see a whole bunch of extra metalworks and machinery over in the bog over here. So kind of crazy all that got left behind from the logging days. So we're gonna get going on this half-mile portage and go check some of it out. Welcome to Eagle Lake. I would love someone who knows more about weather than I do to tell me what the heck causes this. There's like a 5-foot line of no wind. How does that happen? How does that form in the middle of the lake? It's so deceiving to look at. I need to understand it. Well, that was kind of a waste of time. The whole reason I was going up there was because on the Far Out app, it's listed as a observation tower / fire tower. And I didn't see one from the lake. So I was like, maybe it's on the backside or something and you just couldn't see it. But I should have expected it when I was at the bottom and it just said observation or overlook trail. That it was probably just going to be an overlook. And that's what it was. It was just an overlook. So I just hiked this crazy, hardly improved trail that I'm pretty sure I'm the first person to walk on in years, all the way up to the top just to get a glimpse of the lakes I've been paddling, I guess. I don't know. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I even bushwhacked to where the peak of this ridge would be, just to ensure that there wasn't in fact a tower there, and there was not, sadly. So I'm on the long walk back down, go back to my canoe and keep paddling. Oh well. Crossing under that bridge officially puts me on Churchill Lake, which is the last big lake of the trip. Kind of bittersweet, I'm not gonna lie. Once I get to the top of Churchill Lake, I'll hit Churchill Dam, which is where the put in for the Allagash River is, and I take the Allagash to the St. John, and then I'm done. So kind of sad, but I'll enjoy my paddle across here and one last time on big windy lakes. Well, this has been fun on the Allagash. So done with all the big lakes. Just got to go down the Allagash and into the St. John and then up to Fort Kent. So kind of on the home stretch. And after the dam, the warden ranger told me that it was still canoe flow. So I was all right to go through and not have to wait till morning when they release more water. So it was good. I've been slamming through all this class 2 stuff, and now I'm just in like the little class 1 riffles, and so I'm just headed down this way to find the first campsite I can find for tonight. That's where I'm off to. Worst sight ever. When you're counting on getting to a campsite and your arms are starting to wear out and you see it's taken. I suppose that's the downside to being on a popular waterway. I'll have to push a couple more miles to the next one. Well, found a campsite. I put some miles on today. Holy. This was the next site after the one that was taken, so I just kind of had to hope nobody was here, and when I came around the corner, nobody was, so lucky me. Just kind of show you where we're at real quick. It's called the Ledges on the Allagash. There's another site up there too. It's kind of like a shared beach, but I took the one that had a semi-flat tent site anyway. And here we are. Not a bad place to call home for tonight. I think I'm gonna go for a swim after dinner.